Welcome, believers and skeptics, to our very first YouTube video. This is The Haunt Hunt, and I'm your host, Sydney.
And I'm your host, Levin. And today's video is going to be based mainly around what we do, what our goal is, where we're from, that kind of thing. You know, it's like our intro video on YouTube.
We do have a podcast also called The Haunt Hunt, so feel free to go check that out over on Acast.
There will be a link, by the way, in the bio.
Link in the bio down below. We have a few episodes up already on there, so yeah, go check that out because we have some good stuff. In this video, though, I guess we're just going to be kind of explaining our purpose here and who we are. So I guess for starters, we are from Spokane, Washington.
Whoop, whoop. Evergreen State.
This is our hometown, and we are planning on going to the most haunted locations here in our hometown and just trying to capture some evidence for y'all.
And we may not look related, but we are sisters, obviously.
We are.
Full-blooded sisters, I will point that out. Full-blooded sisters. We're just trying to catch some ghosts and make those skeptics into believers and join the Seeker Squad.
Exactly. Yeah, we've just always been super into the paranormal and horror, and just grew up, you know, always watching horror movies and TV shows. Huge fans of Ghost Adventures. Shout out to them.
If you see this, Zach.
Huge fans of them. So we've just always been super interested in the paranormal, and we've always low-key wanted to start our own investigating group. But we never really started until now, later in life. We kind of decided to just bite the bullet and, yeah, just go for it. So
we'll make it, or we won't. We're hoping to make it eventually, but, you know, odds are, 50-50.
We're hoping there's enough of you out there, you know, believers and skeptics, that are willing to hear our personal stories and come along with us on our journeys, our adventures. We've already been on a few. Again, go check out that podcast.
We explain it more in the podcast, but we'll show you the actual evidence that we get on here.
Stay tuned to the end of the video because we do have some cool evidence for you, but you have to watch until the end. If you skip
to the end, we'll know.
We'll know.
You'll have nightmares. You'll get haunted.
Promise. Promise. Anyway. So, more about us. Not a whole lot interesting, really. We live together. We do. Damn, I don't really... What else is there?
We're related? I mean,
yeah, we're basically just starting out, and we'll have a lot more content. Again, we go on hunts all the time. And there's many more that we will be going on, and we upload on our podcast regularly too, just like we will here. So just stay tuned for that.
And obviously I'm the funny one in the group, so
this is disappointing. Anyway, we have captured evidence on our digital recorder. We were super stoked to catch our very first actual voice EVP, y'all. It was super insane, and we were like low-key mad at ourselves because we hadn't listened to the recording until 2 days after the fact. And we had captured our very first one, and it's so clear and like perfect. So I guess I'll give a little detail. We'll go into some detail about where we captured these EVPs, because there is 2 of them that we captured.
And you'll know by the end of the video. But just wanted to show you guys, this is the one that we use. It's kind of hard to see. It doesn't want to focus that much. Focus. But at the very top here is the microphone. And this bit is so incredibly sensitive.
It really is. It picks up, I swear y'all could hear a mouse fart on this recorder.
A fly fart. I mean, it is so sensitive that even when you set it down, it just picks up any vibrations, anything. Like,
and the crazy thing is, too, guys, is it is not an incredibly expensive recorder. at all. Like, this was fairly cheap, and it is incredibly sensitive and accurate, and it's awesome, and it functions really well, so we're quite happy with that. We did capture orbs, however, party foul, the footage got corrupted and we lost it. So
the whole SD got completely wiped for no reason. So the
Explain
one
that.
good orb that we got, we don't have, but we're gonna find an even better orb to make.
Yeah, we are on the hunt for more orbs because, we don't want to talk the talk and have no proof. So, do you want to let them in on where we captured those EVPs?
So, our first ever actual, not voice phenomena per se, it was more footsteps that we caught, and that was in the basement of the house that we currently live in.
Yes.
So, of course, we'll have a clip of that probably in this video. So you guys get a taste of what we can capture with this thing. I mean, it's dead silent, pretty much. You hear an animal walking, and then you hear how many footsteps in total? 9, 10?
9, yeah. And
they're spread out. It's not continuously walking. And at the time, it was just me and her home. Yeah. No one else was home.
And we go into detail more in our podcast, there's a huge distinct difference between animal footsteps and human footsteps.
Huge.
And another crazy thing about it is, one, we know the difference of what those kinds of footsteps sound like, but in real time, we didn't hear any of them.
If either of us would have heard that, we would have scooted right out of that basement.
Yeah, we would have gone upstairs immediately because we were the only ones home. So, a little spooky in our own basement.
In the house that we live in.
Yeah.
And sleep in every night.
Yeah.
Definitely makes me more paranoid now, more than anything, though.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like I'm watched more in any single room I'm in.
I know. It has this odd feeling. We were told by our significant others that we are no longer allowed to do EVPs in the basement because they don't want us to mess with something.
Well, here's the secret. We're probably going to do it anyway. When they sleep.
Don't tell them that. And if y'all are watching, you heard nothing.
You keep your mouth shut.
Well, the other EVPs, they were captured at Minnehaha Park. Is or was the site of an old orphanage, 1800s, I want to guess. I'd have to look up the specific dates, but now it's just a park. The building is completely boarded off except for the bathrooms, which are closed most of the year, but it's this rather small but fairly tall brick building, if that makes any sense, and then it has an really small playground, swing set, and then it's pretty much forest and trails that you can walk through. And we haven't actually gone into the woods yet. We haven't taken the trails into the woods yet. It is absolutely insane environment out there.
And
different.
It is really known for being haunted.
Yeah, if you are from our hometown, then you probably know exactly where we're talking about. You've probably been there. I'm sure a lot of people have been there and know it for being haunted. I think the most common story that is told from there is that there's a little girl that'll be seen swinging at 11:30 at night, usually every night. We've been there around that time a few times, and we haven't personally seen her.
But we have heard her.
However, we've heard her. And whether you are a believer or a skeptic, doesn't really matter to me. I personally have been physically touched by her. And the EVP that we captured, the first one, is her responding to me asking a question directly after I felt someone kind of run their hand through my hair and kind of pull my hair a little bit. So super cool. Stay tuned for the end because you'll hear her and it'll give you chills. I promise, whether you believe or not, you will get chills.
We gotta keep reiterating. You have to stay till the end.
You gotta stay.
What the fuck?
Till the end.
What was it? My computer. We're good.
Okay. Explain the second one.
Second one was still at Minnehaha, just a different... Was it a different night or was it... No, it was the same night. It was the same night that we caught the first EVP. So the second part is just crazy, in my opinion, because I wasn't expecting to hear anything after the first, voice we caught. And, of course, if you listen... I don't want to spoil it that much. It ruins the whole point of it.
If you listen super close to the end of the video where we show you the second, which will be the last EVP you hear, just listen incredibly close and then tell us down below in the comments what you hear. And then in a few days or so, or maybe in our next video, we'll go through and read some comments that we picked out, and then we'll tell you what we believe it is.
I wonder what people are going to say about it.
I don't know. I mean, whether you believe it or not, we really don't care. We are just here to be real and upfront and honest, and this is what we do. This is what we believe in. This is what, we are dedicating our time to. And, at this point, we don't care if we're taken seriously or not, because we're having a blast doing it, and we are learning so much about the paranormal and just barely diving in to everything that the paranormal has to offer. So.
And if we make some money along the way, pretty cool, but, merch line down the road.
I just realized we probably should have been wearing our shirts this whole time. Anyway,
we have shirts.
We do. We do not have a merch line yet. That is definitely something we want to do in the future, though. Shout out to our dad, who probably will watch this video. He got us some really, really awesome t-shirts that have our logo on them and our names on them, and it was super cool of him to do that. We really appreciate you. So, shout out to Pop Pop.
Shout out to Daddy-O.
Alright. How many minutes are we at?
I don't know, it doesn't say.
Well, that's annoying. Okay, well, there's gonna be some edited out. Should I, tell the spooky story or something? I can tell the story of the face in the car. The house.
Well, I don't want to get, I just want it to be, about, what we caught and stuff. And, that kind of deal. I figure we should have, a separate line for our stories, where we actually, they can see our face when we're talking about it and make it, a little spooky in the background and shit.
Should I explain, or I feel like we need to tell a little bit more about why we personally wanted to get into the paranormal, because I can tell about how I'm sensitive, and then you can tell why you really wanted to.
Okay.
That way we have more video. Do you want to go first?
I guess I don't really have a reason why, but yeah.
Okay, so
I got it. So the main reason that I wanted to get into all of the ghost hunting and getting scared to death and whatnot, comes from Ghost Adventures partially. I've been watching that since I was a kid. I love ghosts. Everybody knows I love ghosts personally, but I've never really been one to experience paranormal. I've never seen things, never felt things really, ever. But since we literally just started doing this, I've already felt some emotions that were not my own, honestly. I've panicked really hard. I've had strong wave of fear to where I couldn't move. I mean, just even catching an orb that I couldn't physically see, but I could see it on the camera, was just exhilarating. Like, I was squealing like a little kid about it.
Yeah.
But, of course, I freaked out when I originally saw it and ran out of the basement. But, I mean, it's just...
Yeah, she literally pushed me up the flight of stairs to get out. She was not... Yeah, no.
I guess it's just part of the reason I'm doing it is for the rush of it. To feel it. To see it, kind of thing, you know? It's cool.
It is cool, and it is exhilarating for sure. It's a whole other feeling, and anyone watching that has had any sort of experience with the paranormal, like, you know exactly what we're talking about. It's a rush, and it's so intriguing just knowing that there's something there that you can't necessarily see, but you feel it, and you know something's there, and it's really cool to be able to capture what's making you feel this way. I think definitely the rush is a good reason to do this thing. And no one, like, you don't have to be anyone special to do this either. Like, we want to prove that to people. We are not, you know... I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Where was I going with that?
I don't know. I wasn't even paying attention to that last bit. I was just here to be here.
Okay, anyway. We want to prove that, like, you do not have to have a shit ton of money or have the best equipment or live in the most haunted place in America to be ghost hunters, because spirits are everywhere all the time, and the paranormal's never going away. The spirits will never just one day randomly disappear. You know, when there are people, there are spirits. So it's super cool. And while, you know, Levin is so intrigued just for the rush of it, on my end, and I do explain a little more in our podcast about this, and another just disclaimer, like I said before, we do not bullshit. We do not sugarcoat on this channel or on our podcast. We are very upfront and real about things, because there is no reason to lie. We don't play like that. But since I was a very young child, I've been incredibly sensitive to the paranormal. And I by no means am any sort of, you know, medium or psychic or anything along those lines. I am just incredibly sensitive, and I can see and I can hear and feel spirits a lot more intensely than anyone else that I know. And most people do not know how sensitive I actually am. Levin is, you know, aside from Levin, there might be two people really that know that I am sensitive, especially as sensitive as I am. And so it's a little bit extra exciting for me to be able to experience it in a different way than Levin does, because she doesn't get the feeling until the spirit's right there on top of her, whereas I know they're coming. I feel them coming before they are there, and I can hear them, and they know that I know, so they are drawn to my presence. I fully believe that, and I know that spirits are with you all the time. I have seen loved ones that have, you know, passed on and come to me in times of great sadness, and what I have is, you know, it's a gift for that reason, and it's also a curse, because I have seen some things, y'all. I have seen some things that still terrify me to this day at 24 years old. So
check the podcast for that last episode.
Check the podcast. I'm telling y'all, I go into the reason I believe in ghosts. That is in our podcast.
Everything pretty much is in our podcast. So
yeah.
Of course, we'll have a link to that below.
We're going to try and shoot for a video a week. Do not hold us to that. We are just starting out. But that is the goal. We're probably going to be uploading on our podcast a little more often.
It's a lot easier.
Depends.
It's a lot
podcast is easier, y'all. We can just sit and chat and, you know, editing wise, come on. So much easier. But, yeah. So, I guess, if you stayed this long, then you made it to the EVPs.
You get your treat.
You get your treat.
Good people. Good people.
Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, for giving us a shot. If you did like this video, if you like where we're going, please just drop a like and comment down below. I don't know.
If y'all want to make us changes, we can't get better equipment right now, so you got to deal with the gradient. Yeah,
this is the best you get right now. But yeah, just stay tuned because we've got a lot more coming your way. So,
as always,
sleep well, seekers.